Hey, Joanna.
Hey.
So Train the Trainer film #1 is called The Happy Sheet. Do you know what a happy sheet is?
I can only assume, but no, I don't.
It is the feedback form that traditionally is given to participants at the end of a training program. And in the business, we call it the happy sheet because the only thing it really does is measure the level of happiness in the room at the end of the session.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I know this because my mum used to work at the University of Brighton. I come from a family of teachers. And she won the best feedback of the year competition for 5 years running. She only worked there for 6 years. And in the first year, she used somebody else's happy sheet and it didn't go well for her. So she went to her boss and she said, why are we using this one? And her boss says, you don't need to use that one. Just ask one of your colleagues, use something else. It's not important which one we use. So they didn't have a standardized feedback process. And so every year, at the end of the year, there would be a big meeting and a stage, and then prizes are given to whoever's done well. And every year, the feedback prize went to Mum. And in England, you always receive a carriage clock. A carriage clock is one of these weird small plastic clocks that you put on a mantelpiece. Grandmothers love them. And they're completely useless. They're normally made of plastic, and so Mum's got 5 of these, and she goes up on stage and gets her carriage clock. The 5th time, she's just about to retire, so she goes up on stage. Everybody's well done, Katrina, and she says, I just want to ask a question. Where do you get your feedback forms from? And they're all looking at each other and say, well, you gave me yours and I used that one and I did this with it, but I'm using yours. And she says, yeah, you see, that's the reason that I've been winning this prize every year for 5 years, because I write my own forms. I make sure I get the feedback that I need. And not sure it was worth it for the carriage clocks. But the feedback form is traditionally statistics and then comments. She changed it around so that it was comments and then statistics. And then most importantly, she always did the following. At the end of the course, at the end of the lesson, 15 minutes before the bell would ring and all of the students would stand up and say goodbye, 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 she would say, okay, guys, you've got 15 minutes left. Here's the happy sheet. Here's the feedback form. Take 15 minutes to write lots and lots and lots of comments, and then do the statistics at the end. Silence, please, for the next 15 minutes, and then you can hand them in, and then we will have the final round of the great competition where we will decide who wins the fantastic, valuable prizes. And in this way, she manipulated the fact that she got lots of comments, generally good ones, and that had a positive impact on the statistics as well.
Mm. And how does this relate to technical training environments?
Good. Well, in my experience in technical training environments, firstly, nobody ever reads the feedback form. So what's the point of doing it? Secondly, it's either done at the very, very last second or it's done online afterwards, which means the response rates and the quantity of comments that you get is very, very low. Thirdly, tech trainers need to understand that there is not much value to the comments within a happy sheet, even if there are lots of them. Statistically, University of California says that you need 100 feedback forms to find one comment that you're actually going to do something with that will change your behavior. Yeah. So with that reality in the background, why is the feedback form there in the first place? It is there so that you can basically collate all of these feedback forms into a summary. You send it to your boss and you say, boss, I did a fantastic job. Why do you do that? Because nobody else is going to. Your boss sends it to the owner of the customer who sent the participants there and says, dear company X, We did a great job. Your guys really enjoyed this training. We think they should do some more. So it is used as a method of self-promotion, a method of promoting the courses that you do. And I say again, because nobody else is going to do it. Nobody's going to tell you how good you are in the training room, because nobody cares. Nobody cares unless you take the time to do it yourself and make sure you get good feedback.